Blood in the Pines. The daughter of ruins. There is no world now. There is only echo. And Ash Walker. She floats through a colorless place where time folds like wet paper. No sky. No ground. Only the sound of her own heartbeat and the breathing of something huge. Asleep and watching. Her sword is gone. Her body is different. She's not bound by bone anymore. She's a knot of will, a living contradiction. Flame that freezes. Void that sings. And behind her, the remnants of the first flame whisper. You killed the author. Now write your own nightmare. Ash Walker touches her chest. There's a new mark there. Not a rune. Not a scar. But a wound that opens inward. Every time she breathes, it pulses with memory. She sees all the other versions of herself. The one who loved Mara. The one who died in the pines. The one who burned cities for revenge. The one who never woke up at all. All flicker inside her like dying stars. You are a multiverse compressed into a corpse, says a voice behind her. And you are not alone. She turns and gasps. A figure steps out of the echo, taller than her, eyes stitched shut, wearing a cloak made of failed realities. It has her face, but older, sharper, crueler. You reached the deep below, the figure says. You weren't supposed to. Now we're all bleeding for it. Ash Walker growls. Who are you? The figure pulls back her hood. I'm the version of you that took the deal. Flash. Ash Walker sees it. A possible past. She stands at the pines years ago, holding Rowan's hand. A black door yawns open. She steps through. She becomes its bride. And when she returns, there is no earth left. Only obedience. Only devotion to something unspeakable. That version smiles. You turned it down. Brave girl. Now I have to clean it up. Ash Walker snarls. You can't stop me. Oh, I'm not here to stop you. She draws a blade made from time itself. I'm here to fuse with you. Suddenly Ash Walker is being pulled forward. Every cell screaming. Her alternate self trying to merge with her. Only one of us gets to write the end. Ash. So let's find out who it is. They crash together. Not fighting like humans. Not even like gods. They fight like realities breaking glass bones against each other. They fight using every timeline, every death, every love. It's blood opera. It's grief combat. It's poetry written with teeth. And just when it seems Ash Walker is losing, she lets go. Of the grief. Of the trauma. Of the idea she has to be anyone's chosen anything. And in that release, she becomes whole. A pulse explodes from her chest. Her other self howls and vanishes unwritten. And Ash Walker floats alone again. But she is different now. Her new form is glass-threaded void, burning from within. Eyes like the last sunset. Mouth full of secrets not even gods can survive. And on the horizon, something stirs. Not flame, not void, but a scream wrapped in light. Something is coming for her. And it doesn't want her to fight. It wants her to kneel. Ash Walker cracks her knuckles. Try me. The end verse. Light has weight. Ash Walker feels it pressing against her skin, trying to force her to the ground. This isn't sunlight. This is something heavier. A cosmic authority, so ancient it doesn't speak in words. It speaks in finalities. The scream wrapped in light takes form. A titanic figure, faceless, draped in robes made of collapsed prayers. Its crown burns with the names of every universe it has devoured. It moves like gravity having a dream. And its voice is the end of stories. Ash Walker, you are the last myth. You were never meant to survive this far. Ash Walker stares it down, defiant. Then why am I still standing? It lifts one hand. Reality buckles. Suddenly, Ash Walker sees the truth behind everything. Rowan's love, engineered. Mara's betrayal, scripted. The pines, a breeding ground. She was made to burn, to be the matchstick that lit the apocalypse and then went out. But she didn't. She kept choosing her own path, kept breaking the script, and that made her dangerous. You're not a mistake, the figure says. You're an infection. The end verse shifts. No longer a blank void. Now it's a library of dead realities. Each book a world. Each world ended. By her. She walks past titles. Mara loved you. Rowan lied for you. Ashwalker becomes the first flame. Ashwalker destroys the first flame. All real. All true. All possible. All unfinished. The light being raises its hand again. Choose. One version to be made real. The rest will be erased. Ashwalker breathes in the firelight, and then she laughs. You still think I'm going to play by your rules? She lifts her hands. Her veins glow like rivers of unedited memory. I'm not choosing a version. I'm going to write one you can't control. She tears a page from her own soul and throws it into the air. It becomes a new world. A world where the pines never burned. Where Mara lived. Where Rowan healed. Where Ashwalker wasn't a weapon, she was a guardian. The light being screams. That version doesn't exist. Ashwalker steps forward. It does now. And with one swing of her voice, she cuts the end verse in half. Everything folds. The books collapse into stardust. The light being shatters into silence. The void implodes. And when it all clears, Ashwalker stands in a new world. She's mortal again. Her hands are dirty, not glowing. The pines are behind her, real and alive. The wind is cold. The stars are quiet. She breathes. For the first time, she breathes. And someone calls out, Ash. She turns. It's Mara, smiling, alive. Ashwalker blinks back tears. This world isn't perfect, but it's theirs. Not written, not forced, chosen. And far, far away, in the cracks of broken time, something watches. Something older than the end verse. A laugh forms, a smile made of teeth that have never known light. She thinks this is over. The true enemy awakens. Let you're ready to break the thing beneath names. Peace has a smell. Ashwalker first notices it on the wind. Fresh earth, pine resin, cool fog on the lips. It's not the metallic tang of blood, not the burnt air of apocalypse. This is what she fought for. A world unwritten. Her world. But deep down, something itches. The part of her that died in the end verse. The part of her that never fully came back. And that night, as the town sleeps, the pines whisper. Not in English, not in language, but in recognition. It found you. She wakes with blood in her mouth. Not her own. It's dripping from her mirror. She stares, and her reflection isn't her. It's a version that never survived. Bones blackened, eyes hollow, mouth stitched shut with her own hair. It raises its hand, and writes a single word on the fog glass. Root. Somewhere in the dark, Mara wakes too. She's been drawing in her sleep again. Charcoal on the walls. She turns on the light. There are hundreds of drawings, all of Ashwalker, but twisted, fragmented. Some are impaled on thrones of bone. Some are feeding on stars. And in the corner of every drawing, a black spiral pulsing, like it's watching. That night, Ashwalker goes walking alone. She reaches the deepest part of the pines and finds something wrong with the world. The trees pulse, not with life but with breath. The earth is soft like skin, and the shadows don't move with the wind. They move with intention. A voice calls out from below. You left US unwritten. She steps into the clearing, and there, growing from the center of the forest, is something that should not exist. A tree made of mouths, every trunk a jaw, every branch a scream. At its base a hole, a rootless pit, a womb for stories too dangerous to live. This is the place where forgotten versions rot, the voices whisper. This is where the stories go when you reject them, and something is crawling up. Suddenly, hands burst from the soil. Too many. Some hold blades. Some hold parts of her, eyes, teeth, burned pages of old diaries. One holds Rowan's voice, and from the hole climbs a thing made of her failures. It has no face, just masks. Hundreds of masks stitched together, each one a different her. The thing speaks with 1,000 tongues. We are the versions you buried. We want our place back. Ashwalker backs away, pulse hammering. I ended the end verse. I rewrote reality. The creature twitches. You rewrote the world. But you never deleted us. It lunges, and the tree screams. Ashwalker falls through the clearing into blackness. She lands in a room of bones. Not dead bones, remembered ones. Every memory she ever had is here. Every choice she ever almost made. And someone is waiting in the center, sitting in a chair of flame, face veiled, holding a single bloodied rose. She speaks without opening her mouth. You wrote yourself free, but you never asked who gave you the pen. Ash Walker's voice trembles. Who are you? The figure removes the veil, and it's not another her. It's her mother, but not the one she remembers. The one she dreamed of as a child, powerful, silent, terrifying, and impossible. Her mother smiles, and every world starts to burn again. The root mother. The room of bones trembles. Ash Walker stares into the face of her dream mother, a woman she never met, never remembered, yet always feared. She doesn't blink. She doesn't breathe, but her presence pulls gravity into itself like a black hole with a pulse. The root mother's voice is a lullaby built from screams. Do you know how hard it was to keep you from remembering who made you? Ash Walker takes a step back. You're not my mother. No, I'm everyone's. The root mother rises, and the walls of the bone chamber ripple like liquid light. They call me a god, a plague, a myth, but I am none of those things. I am origin. She gestures, and suddenly Ash Walker is falling again, through centuries, through bloodlines, through lives she never lived. She sees a witch drowned in the 1600s, a wolf girl howling in the Black Forest, a vampire child locked in a coffin beneath Rome, a woman herself, running through fire with a newborn that isn't hers. And in all of them, the same scream, the same seed, the root mother. Ash Walker lands, gasping. She's back in the pines, but they've changed. The trees are upside down, growing from the sky. The stars bleed like wounds. And the people of the town, they're all wearing her face, but twisted, ruined, hungry. This is the world if I finish what you started, the root mother says. A world where everything wears your shape. Because you are the most powerful lie ever told. Ash Walker shakes her head, fury building. No, I earned my story. The root mother smiles. You inherited it. But you never asked. Who wanted you to win? The ground splits, and the masks rise. Every version of Ash Walker she's buried, erased, denied. Now they come crawling from the roots. They chant in one voice. Let US in. Let US be. You don't deserve to be real. And they rush her. Ash Walker erupts. Fire. Void. Blood. Light. She fights not like a hero. Not like a god. But like a story protecting its ending. Each strike erases a mask. Each heartbeat rewrites a law of physics. She screams with all the lives she could have lived and didn't. But it's not enough, because they're not fighting to win. They're fighting to merge. And in the center, the root mother opens her arms. Child, you were never one thing. You were always all of them. Ash Walker stumbles, bleeding shadow, screaming, laughing. And in her moment of collapse, Rowan appears, but not the man she knew. Rowan is wearing a mask, a version of him who betrayed her in every life. You wanted me to be good, he says. But I was written to break you. He stabs her, straight through the memory of her heart, and she falls, down, 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 into the root. And then, silence, until a single voice, high and young. Mom. Ash Walker opens her eyes, and sees a little girl, her daughter, but she never had one. Did she? Is Ash Walker dead? Is the root mother done playing fair? Next time, the daughter of the lie. Say the word. We'll burn it all. Daughter of the lie. Ash Walker lies in a pool of memory, bleeding from wounds that don't exist in the flesh, but in timeline scars. Her soul stutters. Reality shifts around her, glitching like a scratched record. And yet, the little girl remains. Barefoot, wild curls, eyes the color of forgotten dawns. A presence that radiates familiarity and dread. Mom, she says again, don't let them take me. Ash Walker stares, whispering, who are you? The girl cocks her head and steps forward, barefoot over black roots that pulse beneath the ground. I'm the version you never let grow. The life you aborted when you chose to survive. I'm your could have been. Lightning strikes the sky, but the sky doesn't flash. It screams. A chorus of unborn stories begin to chant. Let her live. Let her speak. Let the lie give birth to truth. The little girl touches Ashwalker's face, and in that second, Ashwalker sees everything she gave up to become what she is now. A daughter, a home, a quiet life, an ending without blood. She collapses to her knees. I didn't know. But you do now, the girl whispers. And they're coming to unmake me. Suddenly, the forest tears itself open. The root mother reappears, taller now, her spine an exposed ladder of names, and her arms cradling a dying son. That child is anomalous, a story you never wrote. If she exists, you stop being the main character. Ashwalker rises, trembling but defiant. Then maybe it's time I wasn't. Behind her, the earth cracks. Something massive, something ancient, begins to pull itself from the soil. A being made of rejected outcomes. Its ribcage filled with clocks that never ticked. It speaks in a voice that sounds like Ashwalker's, but older, broken, and full of teeth. If you let her live, the world becomes hers, not yours. Ashwalker looks at the girl. I don't care. And with that, she rips open her chest. Not literally. She tears open the narrative binding her, exposes the fragile clockwork of authorship and authority. And she gives it to the girl. Write your story. I'm done being the only one who gets to survive. The root mother screeches, and the forest ignites in reverse, trees dying backward, collapsing into seeds, then into ash, then into concepts. The world begins to unravel. Ashwalker lifts her daughter into the air, and from the girl's eyes bursts a new myth, a spiral of blood, love, and memory, one that doesn't need to destroy to begin. Suddenly, everything stops. No wind, no sound, no light, just a whisper. Welcome, child, says a voice older than Origin. And the girl smiles. I know what you are, and I know how to end you. A second later, the root mother's body explodes into branches. The tree of mouths collapses into itself, devouring centuries. And Ashwalker. She wakes up in a quiet house. Morning sun through the curtains. Coffee brewing. And the little girl. Mom, you okay? Ashwalker smiles. Yeah, for once. I think I am. But in the corner of the living room, one of the girl's drawings is still wet. A tall, faceless figure. Watching them. Not from outside. From inside the watcher in the mirror. The mirror hums. Not with light. Not with reflection. But with awareness. Something is inside. Not watching, but waiting. Ashwalker stares into it as her daughter plays in the background, humming a melody that doesn't exist in this world, but echoes from another. A world that never healed. A world that still remembers her screams. You feel it too, the girl says softly, not looking up. Ashwalker nods. It followed us. That night, while the girl sleeps, Ashwalker steps barefoot across the house. The walls breathe when she isn't looking directly at them. The pictures on the mantel rearrange themselves. And the mirror? It leaks. A thin trail of black oil creeps down the glass, pooling at her feet. The scent is of burned paper and rotten lullabies. Ashwalker, a voice whispers through the dripping. You didn't destroy me. You only changed my face. She reaches toward the surface, and the mirror pulls her in. Inside the mirror, there is no gravity, no time, only corridors of never was. She walks through a hallway of doors, each marked with a number and a feeling. 17, shame. 42, betrayal. 108, euphoria. 666, silence. From each door, voices bleed through. Different versions of her. Some begging, some screaming, some laughing too sweetly. She reaches the last door. No number, just her real name. The one she forgot the moment she became Ashwalker. She opens it. Inside is a room of glass, infinite mirrors, all facing one another, and in each reflection, a watcher. Some are men, some are women, some are shapes that can't exist. All of them wear her eyes, but none of them are her. In the center of the room, a throne made of broken truths, and seated upon it, the first lie. It smiles without lips. I was the one who whispered in the root mother's ear. The one who told you to run, to fight, to become a story. You were never real, Ash Walker. I wrote you to be believed. Ash Walker steps forward, fury and fear pulsing in sync. Then why am I still standing? The first lie stands. Its skin is parchment. Its veins are ink. It peels back its own chest, revealing an empty cavity filled with her child's heartbeat. Because you believed in something stronger than me. You believed in her. It looks behind her. She turns. The girl is there, but not a girl anymore. She's shifting, growing older, stranger, wearing the masks of every future that was denied. And her voice is ancient and new all at once. You made me real. Now I'll make sure nothing lies again. The girl lifts her hand, and the mirrors shatter one by one. Each shatter is a truth restored. That Ash Walker died and rose not because of fate, but defiance. That Rowan was never hers to lose. He was a ghost of her own guilt. That the root mother was just a myth built from grief. And the final mirror, the one holding the first lie, explodes. In its place, a door. Pure white. No handle. Just a whisper. Step through and never be a story again. Ash Walker turns to her daughter. Will I still remember you? The girl smiles, tears in her star-split eyes. Only if you choose to. Ash Walker takes her hand. Together, they step through. Into a world with no script. No prophecy. No monsters. No watchers. Just possibility. Back in the pine house, the mirror stops dripping. And for the first time in centuries, it shows a perfect reflection. No watchers. No lies. Just peace. The end. Or is it? The one who remembers. Years pass. Ash Walker, now just a woman with a name she never speaks, lives quietly in a small house on a cliff overlooking a forest that doesn't whisper anymore. No monsters. No bleeding skies. No roots clawing up from the earth. Just birds. Just wind. Just her daughter, now a teenager with two old eyes and a laugh that's slowly becoming human. But peace. Peace doesn't last. It never does. It begins with the dreams, not nightmares, memories she never lived, a war between witches and shadows, a cult chanting her name backwards, a version of herself who gave in, who became the root mother. Ash Walker wakes sweating, palms full of black soil. The air tastes like burnt ink, and downstairs, the mirror is back, not leaking, not humming, just there. Her daughter sees it too. You feel it, she asks. The forgetting? Ash Walker nods. Something is wrong. People are disappearing. Not dying. Not moving. Just erased. Neighbors who once waved from across the street? Gone. Photos once framed on the wall? Blurred. Even Rowan's grave vanished. No marker. No dirt turned. What's doing this? Ash Walker whispers. Her daughter answers quietly. The price of unmaking lies is losing the story. The truth hits hard. They didn't just escape the cycle. They broke it. And now the world has no plot, no rules, no shape. Reality is starving. It needs a new story, and it's hungry for her. That night the stars fall, not like shooting stars, like predators. And in the woods, something slithers through time itself, a being made of forgotten dreams and broken lore. Ash Walker and her daughter stand in the yard, watching the forest burn with colors that don't exist in physics. It's not trying to kill us, her daughter says. It's trying to write us again. And from the smoke, a figure steps forward. Not a god, not a monster, just a man with a pen. The author. I made you once, he says, voice made of pages flipping. You escaped me. Impressive. But now the world needs stories again. He offers the pen. Tell a new one. Or I'll have to start over. Ash Walker closes her eyes. She remembers. The hospital. The blood. The wolves. The fire. The lies. The choice. And she smiles. No. The author blinks. No. You don't get to write us anymore. We're not stories. We're history. Her daughter steps forward and takes the pen. She draws a circle in the dirt, fills it with names, real and imagined, and she begins to write. Once upon a time, the stories told us, but we learned, we grew, and we took back the ink. The sky implodes with light. The author screams, turning into a flurry of rejected plots. And in that moment, the mirror shatters for the last time. Ashwalker becomes legend, not myth, not lie, just a name passed down in whispers, a name that says, you can survive, you can choose, you can rewrite. Somewhere in the woods that finally sleep, a child draws pictures in the dirt. One of them is a woman made of fire and love, and underneath it a single word, Mom. The end. Thank you for walking through the blood-soaked pines. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to press the bell so you can be notified when I load new stories.